It's July in South Carolina. It's going to be 98 degrees, 98% humidity, and picking peaches for 10 hours a day is not necessarily the most fun job to do. If I was to go out and advertise a job right now for even 15, and I would even tell you $20 an hour to come pick peaches, I might have 100 people show up the first day, but my records will prove to you that on the next day I'll have maybe 4 or 5, and on the third day I'll have 0. 7 American workers apply for my 800 jobs. Less than 1% of my need actually applied. None of those accepted the job. And we had to offer them a job. We want better for our kids. So you think about it, and I love when I go speak to, one of my favorite ones was the Women's Republican Caucus of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Average age was probably well over 55, and there's 120 people in this audience, and they just want to throw tomatoes at me because I'm employing these migrant workers, and they just don't understand. And so I simply asked them, how many of you are raising your children, your grandchildren, to be farm workers? Not a hand goes up. Then who's going to do this work? If you break it down into those conversations, then you can get rid of all the stuff. And, of course, then get them to understand that a guest worker is not an illegal worker. An H-2A guest worker is somebody lawfully admitted into this country. We track, they go back home. But unfortunately, when you hear the word guest worker and illegal, a lot of times people will put that together. We have turned a blind eye in this country for so long for allowing these undocumented workers, just because of the whole process. And quite honestly, there's not American workers that are willing to do the job. So when I always testify, it's one of the things that I'll tell people, your food's going to be harvested by a foreign worker. It's whether you want it harvested here in the United States or whether you want it grown and harvested outside of this country. And for me, that's a food security and a national security issue.